86 players, 33 moves, and a 4 p.m. deadline. We'll get into that and more. Welcome to the Couch Rider Raven.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is your Couch Rider Raven saying, hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. We just have regular conversations about football here. It's more of a relaxed format, and I'm glad you're here. I want to see who's in the room saying what's up first before we jump into anything. So, of course, Delicious is the first one here. What's happening? What's going on, Delicious, man? I'm hoping everything's good with you. Cameroon cannot be found tonight. He is busy training, doing his thing. It's okay. It's cool. I don't know if y'all seen any of his videos on Instagram. The man is training with swords now. He got swords. The brother catches bullets with his teeth. Hope you got that. No, I'm kidding. But yes, Cameroon is out there doing the dang thing. And it's all right. Football season is just around the corner. We will tackle him and drag him to the show kicking and screaming. The Nigerian Nightmare is here. Salute. Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you coming, man. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell so you know what's going down. Let's see who else we have in the room right now. Take that down real quick. Oh, y'all see it. Y'all see it. No, make sure you do the dang thing. Okay, we got Wilbert. Wilbert is here. He says, we need DBs. Give us some good ones when you make cuts. Sir, we could probably gonna carry. We carrying 7. It's just clear. We got 7 corners, and you make the right trade offer. If you wasn't the Browns, we probably might be able to work with you. But Martin is a dog, and I don't think he's going anywhere. Spoiler alert for my show tonight. Just want to let you know. So, and the community. All right, yes, sir. I appreciate you, Nigerian. Let's talk it out, man. So, of course, every single show, we make sure we talk this one thing out here. We talk about the moment of controversy. So, with this moment of controversy, each show, we decide to put a topic up that's funny. It is not meant to turn into anything political. It is just simply there to have some fun with. I did motivational moments. I think y'all like those, but I do feel like starting some message is fun just on a Monday, just to have some fun with it. So today's controversy, moment of controversy topic, I'll get into it just, let me see here. Okay, I see some more topic conversations. The topic is books versus movies. So whenever I get out of the movie theater, if I'm with one of my family members who probably read the book before, because they do a lot of reading, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm 42 years old, and I don't read that much. I mean, I listen to books on Audible, so I don't know if that counts. Probably counts. But I mean, if I guess I'm listening to the same thing that they're reading, and we got the same story out of it, gray area. They say things like, oh, the book was so much better. The book was so much better. And I'm like, you know what? We cannot afford the price of your imagination. No director could. Their budget would be way over budget if they decided to go with the book's imagination and stuck to the T. It's a little tough. Because there are books that I have listened to on Audible, and I mean the special effects, the things that I'm imagining in my head going on. Right now I'm reading a book called Mark of the Fool, and it's like 10 books long. I can't imagine all of those superpowers being pushed out through a movie without somebody going way over budget or just being a cartoon. What are your thoughts? What's better? Is it better in the books or is it better in the movies? Okay, Wilbert says books are always better than the movies. There's no way you can fit all the details in a movie that a book has. That's true. I just truly believe that production costs, you see people going bankrupt. Like people be asking for more money because they'd have to remember so many details about their character. It would be a real pain in the butt. Some of these books, I mean, I'm with a book right now. The normal book that I have goes roughly 46 hours of reading, or at least 46 hours of listening to. So I'm like mowing grass, doing workouts. I'm like going to riding to work, doing all types of stuff, riding extra blocks around the neighborhood just so I can listen to this next part of the book because it's just that good. And I get through 10 of these things, and they probably, like I said, about 40 some hours a piece. And you're trying to compile all of that detail, all of those characters, all of those monsters, all those superpowers, swords, glyphs, detail of the room, all that into maybe an hour and a half movie. It's extremely difficult. So before I started doing all this, I was thinking that the movies were better than the books, and I just didn't care to hear the opinions of my peers or family members and stuff like that. But then I started reading books, y'all, or listening to books. But still, and there's occasions I read books, whatever. But I started listening to these books, started seeing all the detail, and I'm like, yeah, books are better. Weber says they even mess up books because they need to cut the time down and make movies. Yes, and so you miss part of the plot. And there are some things, yes, in the book that is very well explained, and in the movie, it's sped completely up. And you're like, what just happened? Like, what did I miss? Why is it like that? Why are people doing these things? Why are they acting this way? Delicious says, I'm a movie guy, but I understand the fascination in books. Weber says, so in your case, with the book series you are currently reading, do you think a 2-hour movie could adequately portray the books? Absolutely not. It just there's not enough time. There is not enough time. There's like so many enemies and so many like creatures being summoned, and even the simple fun things that are in the book, you're probably gonna miss because it's just fun in the book and not the movie. It may not make it to the movie. Like this guy is an amazing chef. He's an amazing chef, and it talks about the detail of everything that he goes into to make a feast for his friends after they go around and murdering all these monsters. They go back and he cooks at his bakery. And I think you miss out on the detail of this guy cooking and learning how to cook and memorizing different things and using the mark and all these cool things. So if you get a chance, just check out Mark of the Fool to see what I'm talking about. But it's a fantastic book. I love it. Like I said, I'm on book 10. Weber says, you just brought up a hidden trigger I didn't know I had. See what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, man. And then Weber says, I can't stand movies made off of books. It's difficult. It is so difficult to put everything in. So I definitely understand you guys' frustration, and I really don't think it's a landslide. Books are better than movies. So kids, pick up a book or an Audible and have some fun with it. Let your imagination do the work, because once you're starting to imagine these figures in your mind, the movie's probably going to ruin it anyway, because you're like, that is nothing how I imagined this character, because it was somebody else's imagination and not yours. So. All right, so I've started enough mess tonight. So we're going to get into it, folks. We're going to get into it. Now we've discussed books versus movies. Let's go ahead and get into the Tough 10. The Tough 10 is a list of players that you're like rooting for. And as Harbaugh said today, this is an emotional time of the year. You see players that have dreams. They come into camp. They get drafted, or they're coming in as undrafted free agents, or maybe they're coming from another football league and getting a shot, an opportunity to make a roster. And because of one small play, every time I watch a play in the preseason and somebody dropped the pass, I'm like, he probably just lost his job. It's tough. Every time you see somebody fumble, like, man, he probably just hit the streets. He's got to look at a new occupation. because of one small mistake. We saw it happen with Prochet. Everybody was hyped about Prochet in camp. But then when it came to the game, when it came to a regular season game, you just saw him completely flop and fall like, oh, it was terrible. Fumbles and causing a picks, running wrong route, just completely moments of just fumbling the bag. Literally. And now these guys got to go out there and try to make up for a bad mistake. And you're like, is there enough time? Will there be enough tape? Can I make enough plays up in practice to make up for this big time play or big time bozo move that I had? And sometimes it isn't. They get that visit from the Turk. And so these are 10 guys who either going to get the visit from the Turk or are going to get put in some type of status to where when that final 53 roster comes out, their name is not on it. Now, sure, they might move over to a practice squad or be put into an injured reserve status, this, that, and the other. Maybe some roster Olympics is what they like to call it. But right now, I got 10 folks. Their hearts are going to be a little bit broken because things didn't pan out exactly how they wanted it to pan out. Before I get there, I want to say, Brooke, you're late, but welcome. So glad you're here. Just like everybody else, we are grateful for you being in this room. Like I said, relaxed football conversations. Let's get it. Let's go. So at number 10, the 10th one, hopefully you can see that. It's probably obvious here because this guy's going to be moving possibly to IR. Drafted out of Penn State, stands about 6'4", 254 pounds, been with us a few years, registered 3 tackles and a sack during the preseason. He played 4 games for us in 2024, totaling 4. Like I said, he totaled 4 tackles and 1 pass defense. And then at Penn State, I mean, he was doing his thing. He was a standout. He was a physical standout, and he was a great edge rusher. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a decent Isaac, folks. This is the guy who a lot of people are like, hey, he belongs on the roster, but he deserves the shot. But you got to look at what is ahead of him. Who is ahead of them? You got a Jabo who's still fighting for the job, and, he may not make it. And you got Owe, you got KVN, you got Mike Green, you got Robinson. It's dogs we got out here at outside linebacker. Opportunities there for them, but maybe not as much for him now, especially when the injury bug comes along. You're like, oh my gosh, when I had this chance to make the team, I'm about to show up. My body didn't want to cooperate. It's heartbreaking, folks. So that is number 10 for you. Let's see what comments you have. Everybody's saying, okay, so Nigeria says IR, absolutely. We're saying what's up to Brooke. She says, so everybody's saying hey to Brooke. Yay. Okay. Love you, Brooke. All right. So we got with number 10. Let's talk about number 9. Out of the tough 10. The next heartbreak. You probably already know this one. Nick Samak. I don't even know if I said his name right. But when it comes to Samak, he was selected in the 7th round of 2024. Drafted out of Michigan State. He stands 6'4", 314 pounds, so he's got the build. He's played 41 games with Michigan State as a starter, and he was, in different positions. So he was versatile. And, he just, of course, when it comes to linemen, you're not going to have stats on pancake blocks, or at least I don't have those available. But this is a guy like, all right, he's hunting, he's hoping to be noticeable on the line. But the thing about offensive linemen, you almost know who you're going to go with unless they do something significant that shows up on tape or significantly bad. Usually no news is good news when it comes to offensive linemen. If you're like a particular lineman, number 77, if you have bad news, the world knows when Daniel Faalele has bad news. When he has a good game, I was glad that Ravens Nation actually did stand up and show him some love. But I'm still not a fan. I'll be honest. I'm still a Ben Cleveland fan, not a fan of Daniel Faalele, and I kind of wish he was on this tough 10 because it really wouldn't be that tough for the decision to make. If I was GM, I'd be like, bah! But he's got the organization blackmailed, and, good luck to you, Daniel. That's fine. But we're talking about Nick today. Nick is your number 9 tough cut or tough 10 cut here. Let's see what y'all got to say about this here. Wilbur says, we need O-line help too. Cut him so we can add him. And I think that he will be a quality player that gets another opportunity in this league. When people see, hey, this guy has been part of a world-class organization who really knows how to coach players up, I think Samac will get that opportunity somewhere else. And you know how players love going to other spots in the AFC North. So, yes, Wilbert, I could see that as a landing spot for Mr. Samac. All right. We are sitting at number 9. Let's go ahead and move over to number 8. Number 8, we got CJ Okoye. This was kind of a little bit of a heartbreaker for me because I was a fan. I'm a huge fan of this guy. He's prototypical size. And you're wondering, like, hey, why are the Ravens getting rid of this guy? He's a Nigerian defensive tackle who joined through the International Player Pathway Program, and he was undrafted coming to the team in 2023. Of course, he bounced around a couple of teams, but he's listed as 6'6", 315 pounds, 23 years old, and he played his first ever football game in 2023 with the Chargers. And that's pretty cool, right? You know, all of a sudden, Harbaugh is like, one Harbaugh to another is like, hey, man, get this guy a shot. So here he comes to Baltimore. He makes a freaking, like, shattering tackle. And the reason it was overshadowed is because the very next play, Ajabo completely levels the Colts quarterback, taking him out of the game with a dislocated pinky finger. But you go back and look at the tape just before that, he had a nice solo tackle in that game. He's playing at a high level. This is a guy who could come through and break through walls on that defensive line. I'm kind of sad that Okoye has to go. I'm a big fan. I know he's going to land on his feet somewhere because you can't teach size. And 6'6", 315 pounds, this guy has what you need to knock down passes. And I just wish there was more spots on this roster for a guy like this. So, CJ, sorry, bro. We got some dogs out there already on the line, and you just had to be the odd man out. And I think Urban is actually going to make the roster and take one of those spots that could have been had by you. I think the Ravens are still in love with this guy, and I don't blame him. You know, he's a vet. He's a vet. He knows the game. He knows our team very well, and he meshes pretty well. And his best friend, of course, is Michael Pierce, and he's giving him a shout out by wearing his number. And I'm hoping he makes the roster and makes big plays this year. All right, so we are at number 7. Well, we will be after I check these comments. Let's pay the bills. I like him too. I do. I'm hoping we had the spot for him. I mean, but you look at that position. When I go to look at the defensive tackle, nose tackle position, I'm going to just read it off to you. Top of the charts right here, Travis Jones, Nnamdi Madubuike, John Jenkins, Aeneas Peebles, CJ Ravenel, Brent Irvin. I'm adding defensive ends in there too. Broderick Washington. And let's see, Adeyemo, Jason Jones. There's so many. There's depth here. There is definite depth. He belongs in there with these guys, but I had to pick somebody. And I'm sorry, my guy, CJ. If you make the roster, I am going to celebrate tomorrow. I will put it on a tweet, and I'll put it out there like, yo, man, I'm glad I was wrong, but I think you're on that short list. Kenny D has made it. And, yo, Nigerian, hey, if you haven't subscribed already, man, go ahead and do that, man. We need to go ahead and see that on the timeline. Go ahead and hit that sub right there. We appreciate you. And Brooke, of course, you got the wrench still. So, of course, if anybody comes in this room hitting on me, which has been like frequent lately, so please go ahead and admin knock them out. Not Christian, buddy. Not Christian. Oh, boy. I wish. If he is, I mean, we'd like to have him on the show. Anywho, we are. She said, I got you. Cool. Kenny, I definitely got some questions about your team, man. There's so many unanswered questions. Like, why did you sign Deontay Johnson back? Like, why? This dude is he's not going to be the team player that y'all need him to be. He's got some talent, but he's not, he ain't special. And this is all about him getting his lick back on somebody. I mean, he's been done dirty so many times in his mind that he's looking for that opportunity to get back at the Ravens when he's the one that didn't want to go in the game. Anywho, moving on. We still on this list here, the 10. When it comes to our list, I believe we were at number 7. So we were at number 8. So now we're at number 7, Garrett Dillinger. So when it comes to Garrett, this guy was drafted 243rd overall from LSU, right? 6'4", 320 pounds. He played both guard and center. So it's a versatile player. I love my LSU players. I really do. But he was a 2025 Senior Bowl participant, played 41 college games, so the experience is there. So I'm like hoping that he's able to slide on this roster. But like I said, there's a lot of moving parts that are going to happen tomorrow. So you're going to see guys like this who should make the team, and it may not happen. So he's part of a Joe Moore Award finalist for O-line. So it's the best O-line unit in football, and that was in 2023. And he missed time in college due to an injury, started 3 games at offensive line. So I'm trying to get you to know these guys so that you can kind of tie some emotions. Like, hey, you can see what they're going through. This dude has made significant strides at the collegiate level, and here they are on the bubble at the back end of this. So it's frustrating for them because you're seeing this dream, this star just being shot out of the sky because they're very close to not being able to make a roster. And they may or may not. Let's see here. Actually, I think, one second. Okay, Wilbur says, how many of these guys on your list do you think will pass waivers and you'll be able to sign them to the practice squad? So out of the 10 that I think that we're waiving, I want to say 1, 2, 3. We may lose one of these guys. I'm going to go through the list and I'll be able to answer that question in a minute because I don't want to reveal everybody just yet, right? Okay. Brooke says, can anybody believe, can't believe anybody signed after what he said. What did he say? Must miss something. All right. And it says, she says, Browns cut Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett just got passed over to another team. I think they gave the Steelers they gave the Browns a 5th round pick. And I think Kenny, you talking about the words. Yeah. I thought that was Rudolph. Yeah, so he got traded. That's what I was thinking. I was like, he definitely got traded. So anyway, we're moving on down to number 6. All right, Baylor Cup. So y'all probably already know about this one. He already got cut earlier, but I'll tell you about Baylor because you need to know his story. This guy is 6'6", 243 pounds. Y'all know our roster, right? Y'all know we got some dogs over there at the tight end position already. Between Kohler, Likely, and Andrews, this was a very tough spot that he just wasn't able to make. There was a guy from Nebraska last year that I really wanted on our roster because he played like Gronkowski. And, of course, we knew he wasn't going to last long out there on the waivers because he was just such a talented kid. But he got cut. Here's another guy who has some talent, and he was released from Kansas City. He appeared in 1 NFL game, and he had 1 target total. This is a guy who was trying his best to claw his way on a roster and was given a chance. And he's got a 100% drop rate on his targets. So it's kind of tough. Like people put these stats together and say, hey, you got a 100% drop rate. He had 1 target, bro. Like, why are you putting these stats together like this? This is horrible. So he played football at Texas Tech and primarily offers practice squad depth. So, like I said, 6'6", 243. Maybe he can go ahead and head to a buffet with a couple of defensive tackles, put on some weight. But for right now, he could probably move over the offensive line or something. But right now, he's not a Raven. Or at least in my mind, he's not a Raven. So good luck to you, Mr. Cup. Maybe cousin of Cooper Kupp. I'm not sure. Brooks says that he wouldn't go in because he was cold. Oh, you talking about Deontay? Yeah, yeah, he got traded. Yeah, thank you for filling us in on that. All right, so we are at number 5. Number 5 player, another player who was cut earlier today, according to Jamison Hensley and Jeff Zrebic. Offensive lineman. This guy played ball at at Southeastern Louisiana. Of course, Louisiana players, guys after my heart here. No recorded NFL games or statistics in 2024 or 2025, but this is an offensive lineman, so more than likely you're not going to get any of those. He has some experience at guard and tackle positions, and this is the guy who's at 6'5", 305. You know, prototypical, but it's just how it is when you're looking at the offensive line. I mean, you're seeing Stanley, you're seeing Voorhees, you're seeing Linderbaum, Fele, Rosengarten. But behind them, you got guys like Carson Benson, who's going to make this roster, it seems like. Ben Cleveland, who, while he's in John Harbaugh's basement, he's getting reps. Let's see here. Samac is a possibility to make the roster, but we don't know. Because Corey Bullock looks like he might be ahead of him. And then you got Emory Jones, who's injured. So, of course, we don't have to worry about him taking a spot up right now. But Joseph Noteboom is another name that could make the squad. And then so you have a few others that are going to be fighting for spots, but when it comes down to it, like it's going to be slim to try and make this roster. I thought for sure Jared Penny was going to be an opportunity to make the roster, but I think he's out too. All right. So Kennedy says tomorrow we'll see a lot more trades. I believe so. The second we see players that are on the bubble with us and they have some trade value, you're going to see some trades. 2 names that come to mind for me that have value, that if the Ravens want to try to make a run for other roster spots and get these guys shots to legit fight for a starting spot elsewhere, y'all probably not going to like the names, but I'm going to go ahead and call it out. Keon Martin. He had a significant out of this world preseason, and he fought his way onto the roster. But are the Ravens actually going to carry 7 corners, or are they going to get rid of Jalen Armour-Davis? Because I think we like Martin, we like JAD, but it's 6 corner spots, not necessarily 7. We could carry 7 because Harbaugh says we can't have enough corners. But if it comes down to it, which one's got more value based off of what they showed on tape? And Eric DeCosta is probably salivating right now because he sees maybe a 4th or even a 3rd round pick sitting right there for a guy like Martin. And 3rd would be a stretch, I'll be honest with you. He really had to finagle out and do some real serious, lip service pause to make sure that he's able to convince teams that this guy can play at a high level. So Martin could mess around and be traded for a pick. And then there's Ali. There are teams out there that legit need a running back with great vision and speed. And he's 4th on the depth chart here. If the Ravens can't slide him through to a practice squad, they'd be better off trying to get a pick for this guy. And I know it's heartbreaking, but look, at the top of the depth chart, you already know it's King Henry, and behind him, Justice and Keaton Mitchell, who is going to slice and dice everything. So there's some really hard decisions there, and I think Eric DeCosta is going to find an answer and probably get some picks up out of it. All right, so it's a lot of trash talking going on over here. Brooks says we need to cut Larry. I really don't think that's a hard decision. I don't think it's a tough 10 decision. I think Larry is not it. Let's just call it what it is. Sorry. Cooper Rush, I don't think he's it either. But Snoop's available out there, but we've seen what Snoop has done in full-time games with Miami. It's not the same production we were looking at in 2022. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about Snoop. It's just he had a Pro Bowl appearance as a sub back in the day, but right now I don't see him playing at that high caliber level that says we really need this guy back. I think he's a fan favorite, and I think he's a Lamar favorite, but I don't think he belongs on this roster. All right, so that's about Cooper Rush. And Wilbur says the Ravens should trade Lamar to the Raiders for Ken. What? No, I'm sorry. Why? This is terrible. And yes, Martin did ball. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You a trip. Yes, and Kenny D is being passed around like the bottle at somebody's house party. It is just not a good look to constantly be handed over to multiple teams. I can't believe he's going for trades. Like this is insane. How people are like, all right, I'll go ahead and take him, or I'll take him. You take him. No, you can have him. No, I don't want him. Take this pick. Take him and a pick. Do something with. I don't need him on my roster, man. So it's just kind of weird that he is then tossed around like this. Brooks says, you wish, Wilbert, maybe then one of your 50 QBs would have a chance to do something against us. Who is the Browns' backup quarterback position? Because we know Joe got the spot. Congratulations, Joe Flacco. You're starting in the AFC North again, just not for us. It's just for the Browns. What are you going to do when they find out you cannot roll out of the pocket? Because when you roll out of the pocket, we know there's going to be a pick. I know it. You know it. Everybody here knows it. So they just got to flush you out the pocket. You got a deep. You still can three. You still throw the deep ball, but that's about all you got, buddy. All right, Kenny says, or whoever says Kenny just needs 2 more teams, and he can say he got 6. Are we going to turn this guy into the next Josh Johnson? Gaskins, I liked Gaskins, but Gaskins definitely is not going to be on the 53. This could be another player that somebody slides a 5th round pick to Eric DeCosta, who he'll be salivating like, oh, did you say 5th round? Okay, yeah, I'll take it. The Browns now have 3 quarterbacks. What happened to Dillon Gabriel? Because you got Dillon Gabriel. I thought DTR was there. So you had DTR, Dillon Gabriel, Shadur, Joe. Pickett's gone now. Did DTR get cut? Here we are. So Flacco, Watson, Gabriel, and Shadur. Oh, so you still got 4? Kenny said Watson doesn't count. First said he does count. DTR got cut. I think DTR is gone. Thanks for clearing that up. All right, so we don't got off track a little bit. We were at number 5, I believe, with Reed. So wishing Reed the best of luck there. Like offensive line, it's just a tough spot. Number 4 out of the tough 10. This one breaks my heart, y'all. This one truly breaks my heart because I thought for sure that he had enough moxie to be able to make this roster. Coming out of Maryland, I figured that, hometown favorite, known for his athleticism. In college, this dude was a beast, man. 177 tackles, 8.5 for the loss, 3 interceptions total. He had 107 tackles in high school as a senior. And he was a Howard County Defensive Player of the Year. He's got no other notable regular season stats. But this is the guy I was hoping that would get enough opportunity to fight his way into the safety position. Bo Braid, I just thought, like, hey, he's going to make it. I just had that feeling. It's like the spots are there. I thought they were there. But when you look at our safety room, we got some guys. Of course, we got Kyle and Malachi sitting at the top. Sanasu Kane showed up. Darius Washington's not here with us right now. He's still on IR. But you got Jackson, you got Braid, you got Igbinosun and Lowry, but I don't think and they're saying Lowry may make the roster, but Igbinosun, I don't think he's going to make it. And Keandre Jackson might be a casualty as well. I just feel like Brady had a better shot. But I'm just going to say he's going to be one of those tough decisions that has to be made there. Wilbert says DTR was traded to the Eagles for Kenny Pickett, then DTR got cut. But there you have it. DTR is way better than Cooper. Debatable. Cooper's got better. He's got more playing time experience, and I don't know. I want to say Cooper is a little better. I'm going to say Cooper's a little bit better than DTR. DTR has athleticism, and as long as there's not enough tape on him to watch, he'll be able to get a win or 2 here and there. But once they figure him out, you're going to start seeing the mistakes, and that we saw that, didn't we? Whoever says the Browns pretty much cut all of our DBs who weren't starters. So we will come after all the DBs you cut. That's why we ain't cutting nobody, man. We got 7 dudes on the roster, and we might cut Brady. So you might get a dog out of Brady because he'll be able to tell you about all the schemes that we have. So that puts us now at, I believe it was at 4. I was heartbroken over Brady. We are now moving on to number 3, and this is one that got cut earlier. MJ Devonshire. So he played at Kentucky and at Pittsburgh, and he was a 7th-round pick by the Las Vegas Raiders in 2024. This dude transferred multiple times in 2025 before signing with us August 9th. So in college, he did okay. He notched 34 tackles, 8 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns in one season. He ran a 4.45 at the 40-yard dash in the combine and had a 38.5 vertical and a 10.4 broad jump. But we wanted to see a little bit more shine on tape during the preseason and during training camp, which we didn't hear much about. So good luck to you, Devin. Sorry about you, or Devonshire. MJ, wish you the best. Okay, number 2. Now it's really starting to pull in my thread about the heartstrings, man. Starting to pull in my heartstrings because Devonshire was not really one of those ones I was a big fan of, but I was a big fan of Jay Higgins, the Iowa Hawkeye, so just across the river from you. He was signed as an undrafted free agent in May, and I'm thinking, all right, this guy's got a shot. He's got a real shot at making it. But when Coach Harbaugh came out today, the coach said that Jake Hummel is on the 53-man roster. He had to start looking at spots. And it looks like even though he had an interception here with us during the preseason, it doesn't look like he's going to make the roster, man. I'm heartbroken. I am crushed because I want this guy on the squad. He deserves to be there, but it's just another one of those tough decisions. And I'll give you some numbers on this guy. He is a senior in college. He had 171 tackles. This man had 4 interceptions, 5 tackles for losses, 4 pass breakups. 6 foot even, 224 pounds. So maybe he's not prototypical, but he ran a 4.82 40 at the combine. So it's not crazy fast, but hey, I was excited to see him do his thing in the preseason. Who knows if it was enough? Hoping it is enough for him to be on this roster. All right, now we're down to the number one tough cut or tough 10 cut. And this one it shouldn't be a shock to you guys because he's been on the roster for a few years. And as much as I love him, Nigerian-born cat, 2nd-round pick out of 2022, played in Michigan. We thought we were getting a steal because that stupid trainer during the NFL Combine decided to walk over him after he tore his Achilles, and then it seemed like everybody else walked over him as well. Baltimore picks him up, comes out, first sack is a strip sack fumble, and the rest is history. We're thinking like we got a dog, but then the injury bug just kept winning when it came to David Ojabo. It's very frustrating when you got a guy you want to root for, and it's just not happening for him. Comes out again, another strip sack fumble. He can get there. We saw an earth-shattering sack during this preseason. We saw good play. And for some reason, good runs. I mean, it was a good run stop. It just seems like every time that he's on the field, nobody wants to block this guy. He just gets into the backfield easy. We need that. We do. But once again, when you look at that depth chart and you're seeing guys like KBN sit at the top, Mike Green, Odafe Owe, Robinson, it's very hard to say, hey, I can carry this guy on the roster when you got all that depth. It's tough, man. It's tough. I want to wish him luck. Ojabo, I think you did what you needed to do to get on this roster. But also, if it's a tough decision and they can bring in some youth, somebody with a little bit more shelf life and less of an expensive contract later on, then they got to bring him in. And this is where Wilbur is probably licking his chops saying, yeah, please bring him to Cleveland. Because they're spending $40 million on a outside linebacker right now. And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind having somebody who can decently produce if he stays healthy to come in and take some of the give that $40 million linebacker a couple blows. Pause. You know what I mean? He said we might take your linebackers too. I knew it. I knew it. So we knew that. Okay, we knew that part. So Kennedy said, "LOL, he was you all's best linebacker." No to Ajabo. Some people are not a fan. Wouldn't hate Hendon Hooker as a backup quarterback. I mean, having that type of mobility would be cool. If Trey Lance somehow got cut, I wouldn't mind seeing him here. It'd be great. One that I did think about during the Cowboys game, Joe Milton. Joe Milton, I'll be honest, when he was with the Patriots, he looked better than their rookie quarterback, Drake May. And they mentioned that all throughout camp. And then it showed in the preseason game last year. And with the Cowboys, you can see his mobility. I would not mind having Joe Milton here in Baltimore. Kennedy says, did the Ravens really get better on defense? Bruh, have you seen it? Have you seen this? I think you got to see it, bro. But hold on, you got to see it for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. It's madness. Have we got better? Give me a sec. We're going to share this daggone screen. I need you to see. I'm going to allow that. We're going to go to this window here, and then we're going to go over to this depth chart. Where the heck am I?
You done?
Nope, not done yet. I'm trying to show them something on my screen, and that's zacking up. It's not doing right. I'm just going to do the entire screen. There we go. There we go. All right. So now, if you take a look at this screen, man, not the ads, leave the ads alone. This defense has definitely gotten better. Take a look at what we got here. The additions. Malachi Starks, Jair Alexander. Need I say more? Need I say more? Teddy Buchanan, more to be, we're wanting some high performance. But if you look at the free safety and the cornerback position, to add to what we already have, our secondary is the deadliest in football. I'm going to call it hands down. We got the deadliest secondary in football. Our defensive line, adding Green to this bunch over here, it's insane. I am so excited to see what we are going to do at the outside linebacker position when we got dogs on top of dogs ready to rush. I'm excited, man. All right, that's enough of that. I'm going to get this off screen, man. All right, Nightmare says, trade Ajabo to the Seahawks or to the Chargers. This is another guy that could go for that trade. We don't have to just let him go. We don't have to cut him. This could be a situation where we trade Ajabo to another team and he gets a shot. I don't want him to be like Antoine Barnes. When Barnes went to the Chargers, he was tearing things loose. He looked great over there. But, it is what it is. First says, I was excited for Ajabo. He's been underwhelming, but that hit on Richardson was something else. It was thunderous. I loved every moment of it. And, of course, when it came to Richardson, he did what he normally does, folds like a lawn chair, ends up getting out of the game because he's constantly injured. For those of us who thought that he should replace Lamar Jackson, shame on us. And I say us because at one point in time, I was annoyed during the negotiations when it came to Lamar. And maybe I should have just sat back and chilled and had some faith. I'm glad he's here, though. I'm glad I'm over it. So I'm on mine, though. I'm on mine. Brooks says, yeah, we got better on defense. Yes, it's a fact. Mike Green is going to be something. It is definitely a bona fide fact. What? Slay, JPJ, and Ramsey is a three-headed monster. How old? How old? Because, yeah. How old, bro? How old is Ramsey? How old is Slay? I'm pretty sure they in their 30s right now, bro. In their 30s. You telling me that's your dog three-headed monster? Y'all hired every person at the nursing home to come over here and play football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You expecting for us to have respect for any of that? Can any of your boys hold Zay? I don't think so. I don't think they can hold bait. I'm gonna just call space back, my boy. Like, don't get me wrong, Slade still is like timeless. I give you that. But Ramsey, nah, bro. I think that was the most foolish move to get rid of Fitzpatrick and bring in Ramsey. And you think we scared? We ain't scared. We ain't scared. We ain't never scared, especially that. Mm-hmm. Brooks says, I didn't realize Deshaun Watson had surgery in January. No, he don't count. Okay. But he is rehabbing. I mean, we've been seeing tape. He's out there rehabbing and he's out there throwing the ball. Well, not with the team, but still, you see him, you see tape out there. So Ramsey is not that guy anymore, absolutely. And JPJ getting a penalty is it's true. It's true. Now, what he said to what did he say? He said it to Odell Beckham when he told him, "Hey, go home and be a family man." That was cold blooded. That was after he made a significant play. So he said, "Go home and be a family man." To Odell Beckham Jr. That was the most disrespectful, best one liner I've heard on the field. That was great. I love it. That's coming from a non-Steelers fan, so that's just great. All right, so there you have it. I'll show you the last time with my 10 significant, the tough 10. Like I said, Ojabo, the ones that really are hard hitters for me is David Ojabo, and then Jay Higgins, and Adisa Isaac. Maybe a little bit of Nick on that as well, and of course CJ. So the 5 that I just like, well, actually, it was a few. So wait a minute, David Ojabo, Jay Higgins, let's see here, Bo Brady, that was another one, Okoye, Samak, and Isaac. I feel like that we're gonna miss so much, but these guys possibly not making the team. But you know, it is what it is. The show must go on, and we know that these are not starters that we're saying that we're getting rid of, but these are guys that could have added depth to this team, and these are stars that are getting shot out of the sky. Their dreams are being crushed. They got to go figure out what is going to happen with the rest of their career. They're going to be bagging groceries. They're going to be selling insurance now. They're going to be door-to-door salesmen. Something along those lines. They got to go follow their degree path and finish that, because some of them didn't finish because they banked in on this NFL dream working out, and now it didn't. And it's a tough situation. So I wish them all the best of luck. It's a tough, tough day because the Turk is walking around telling people to clean out their lockers and go visit coach. And it's just heartbreaking. I've had it happen to my cousin. You know, when there's a walk-on with the Green Bay Packers, I told him the issues with his game, and he worked on those and tried to perfect them. But, you know, at the end of the day, they know who they want. They know who's in their top 53, and they know who isn't. And if you grinded it and you shined your butt off, you got a shot. But, you know, if they saw somebody else ahead of you on that depth chart, it's a tough decision. All right. Brooks says, Kenny, y'all don't even have a quarterback. Shots all over the place, man. It's crazy. I love it. All right. Wilbur says, Ramsey is going to get smoked in the AFC North. Facts. Bengals and Ravens have good wide receivers, and the Browns got at least one good wide receiver. Yeah, that's about right. So if you were talking about the North right now, as far as how it's going to lay out, I mean, I think Ravens still own the North. I think that Cincy is going to be right there on our coattails, even though they may not have a defense again. And then it's going to be a toss-up between Pittsburgh and the Browns, and that's just honest. I feel like that it could go either way between the two of those when it comes to the battle for 4th place. So that's my prediction. Take it or leave it. Kenny says, "Oh man, Rodgers is going to get it done." No. So you got to think about Rodgers when he was in Green Bay. He could take all those hits and get up and go make plays. When you saw him with the Jets last year, and he tried to get up and try to do the same type of performance after taking a big hit, it just wasn't there. It wasn't there. This guy's going to be a poison to your locker room, a poison to your brass. It's going to be a problem when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. And in a second, he gets wrecked by our guys. You may see him take some time out. He's just a little too old. 42 ain't it. He need to call it a day, my boy. All right, whoever says Aaron picked the worst part of his career to be the Steelers quarterback. The AFC North defense is nothing to play with. Absolutely. Those Browns, when they get a hold of him, it's not going to be nothing nice. When the Ravens get a hold of him, it's not going to be nothing nice. He might be able to walk all over the Bengals defense and maybe looking like a Pro Bowl quarterback. But when he run up on them, when them Browns hit him and when them Ravens hit him, he going to feel it. That arthritis is going to kick in. Everything go. His check engine lights, all the whole dashboard in his body is going to light up when the Ravens get a hold of him. All right, going to get sent into retirement. It is facts. So Aaron has DK Metcalf. Don't matter. Don't matter. And we saw, like, you go look at, even they had preseason highlights. They were trying to show highlights of Rodgers doing something special. The catch that was actually made in the highlights for I think it was training camp with DK Metcalf was clearly out of bounds. He was not accurate. They showed a couple slants where he was accurate, and there were some things done after the catch, but it was well after DK would have been blown up by the inside linebacker. You see him try to take off with some speed and stuff. This is not a special Steelers team. And that's why they traded for Deontay Johnson, trying to get some help, hoping something would magically happen. If this team has any sense, they'll try to focus this offense around Calvin Austin III. That boy is a burner. He got some significant speed, and maybe they do some screen passes and make some things happen after the catch with him. And then, of course, throwing the deep ball and getting it more accurate to DK. But I just don't see it. I don't see it, man. You got to prove me. You got to show me wrong, man. Kennedy says, Chase said JPJ and Ramsey are the best he has ever faced. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, we can't say we the best because he roasts us every time he plays. So I mean, Chase is a phenomenal receiver. So, and maybe he's just glazing these guys up because he's about to do the same thing to him that he does to us. So I don't know. Not sure, folks. Since the O-line is still gonna be butt. Verse says, I have more faith in Flacco than I do in Rodgers. That's true. I mean, that's a fair statement. So Rodgers is gonna be butt and blame it on everybody else. I believe by week 3. So I think week 1, you're gonna see some magnificent Pro Bowl type worthy performance, right? And then, like I said, those check engine lights will come on all over the dash. He's gonna try to ignore them. He's gonna shoot the trainers off, all that, and then you're gonna see him jump into the brass and say, "Hey, I want this wide receiver. I want this particular player. All this," and then the organization is gonna start fighting with him. Tomlin gonna be caught up in the middle of it. It's just gonna be a full-on Jerry Springer going on with Steelers organization. Black and Yellow Nation is about to get torn down from the inside out because y'all hired this guy to do the job. Robert says Denzel Ward has Chase's number. Okay. Man, that's a performance I want to continue to watch. I'm going to go watch some tape on that, and I'll let you know how I feel about that a little bit later on. But here we are. We're sitting at 53 minutes. I think it was a pretty good time frame to come to a close after we read a couple more comments. Whoever says Ramsey needs to switch to free safety, I agree. Because when you get a little bit older, the mind is there, and the mind is sharp, but the body may not be there. And I think it's easier when you're a corner to back up and see the full field and be able to make plays based off of that. It feels like it's a lot easier because before, when you're on an island, it's just you and that player. And maybe you get to get a peek in every once in a while with the quarterback, or if you're in zone, you can make that peek. But as a corner going to safety, it's like a cheat switch, man. It's just like, all right, cool. I get to see the whole field now. Maybe get to relax a little bit or step up and jump something, make a play, because now I get to see the whole field. So discipline himself this entire time. Brooke has hit the clock. She want to make sure that I don't hit the big old clock. That's fine. Gerald says, what's up, everybody? What's up, man? Kennedy says, Ramsey is playing all over the field. I'd be curious to see how they're using now at this age. Buffalo 45, Ravens. Now you just disrespect. Look, you want to hurt me after I hurt you. I understand. That is just full-on disrespect. Ain't no way Buffalo putting 45 up on this defense. No, I'm sorry, buddy. No. And I think it's going to be very hard for Allen to throw that much with a helmet in his sternum because we getting in that backfield. Have you seen Green in the dip, man? Did he be dipping low, just below? He gets down to his shoulder level is at the offensive line's knee level as he goes around and dipping around that corner, man. It's crazy. And I do wonder where Miss Lisa is. Definitely y'all, if y'all have her Twitter or Facebook, whatever, reach out to her, tell her we're thinking about her. We know what she's going through. And it can't be easy to go through that. So let her know we're thinking about her. And then it says, I'm sorry, y'all got a dinosaur at quarterback. Oh, y'all got a dinosaur at quarterback. Don't take it out on us. Revenge, September 7th. Absolutely. It's going to be a great football season because, well, it'll be the first season that I get to celebrate my Air Force retirement. I am 4 days, count them, 4 days away from beginning my new chapter of my life, from retiring from the Air Force. It's not official. I'll be on terminal leave and permissive TDY, but I'm so excited to begin this new chapter. And who knows what we'll get into. Maybe I start doing more videos. Maybe I get into a little bit more house projects or something. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But y'all just, pray for me and my family. We're excited for this new chapter, and we'll figure out what's next for us. So I appreciate y'all. Got some congrats here. Ain't nothing like it. 24 years, man. And, I get to go. Maybe I'll be a Walmart greeter, and be like the super judgy one or whatever. Be like, yeah, you know what? You're cool. You're cool. No, you with the Benz keys over here. Yeah, let me see what's in that bag right quick. Just be super judgy. But it's whatever. It's gonna be a fun time. But it was a fun time here tonight, and I appreciate y'all popping in and seeing what's up with the Tough 10. We'll continue to do these shows, like I said, relaxed format. I'm not trying to be the next Sports Center. I just want to push out a couple of points from my perspective. And you see Ravens flock there. They got these awesome guys that are teaming up and doing some great shows. Attend those shows, but still come back here and tune in to the home of Original Sports Perspective, from our couch to yours, where we do this relaxed format and have a great time, folks. So if you like the show, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Thanks for coming through, y'all. I'll see you hopefully next Monday. With that said, give me 2 claps. Fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, Original Sports Perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.